Welcome back to the laboratory of the human soul, where today we are opening a door that the narcissist has spent a lifetime trying to weld shut. You have seen them as the all-powerful controllers, the puppeteers of your emotions, but today we are looking at the predator in their most pathetic state, starving. We are dissecting the agony of the void, the literal psychological disintegration that occurs when a narcissist is denied their sexual supply. It is not about desire, it is about survival. It is about a biological machine that has run out of stolen fuel. Stay with me, because we are about to reveal the secret suffering that occurs when the mirror finally stops reflecting their lies. Imagine a high-end sports car sitting in a dark garage, looking magnificent and intimidating, but the fuel tank is bone dry. Without gasoline, that car is nothing but a useless, heavy piece of metal that can't move an inch. That is the narcissist when you finally withdraw your physical intimacy. You think they are rejecting you, but in reality, they are terrified of the silence that settles in when they can't use your body to regulate their own internal chaos. The big haunting question we are answering today is, what happens to a monster when it loses its ability to feed on its favorite prey? The answer is a slow-motion car crash of the ego that they will do anything to hide from you. For the narcissist, sex is never about love, connection, or mutual pleasure. It is a clinical extraction of your life force. It is the spiritual anesthetic they use to numb the screaming voices of self-hatred that live in their basement. When you say no, you aren't just setting a boundary, you are effectively shutting down the pharmacy. You are forcing them to face the internal famine that they have been running from since childhood. Without the dopamine hit of your surrender, they begin to experience a psychic dehydration that is more painful than any physical wound. They are frequency junkies, and you have just jammed their favorite radio station. Have you ever noticed a strange, vibrating tension in their skin when they haven't had their fix of supply? It is a visceral, haunting energy that feels like a coiled snake in the room. They aren't mourning the loss of closeness with you, they are mourning the loss of the mirror. In the bedroom, they use your reaction to convince themselves that they are gods, that they are desirable, that they are real. When that mirror goes dark, they start to vanish. This is the secret knowledge survivors must understand. You were never their partner, you were their energy source. And when the source goes dry, the narcissist begins to experience narcissistic mortification. We are stepping into a documentary-style breakdown of the parasitic collapse that occurs behind closed doors. Most people assume the narcissist will just go find new supply. And eventually, they will. But the agony of being rejected by their primary object is a lethal blow to their grandiosity. They view your body as their birthright, an extension of their own ego. When you reclaim your sovereignty, it feels like a biological amputation to them. Today, we reveal the internal poverty of the predator. You are about to see that your no is a more powerful weapon than any argument you've ever had. You are currently witnessing the disintegration of an idol. The narcissist treats the bed as a grooming station, a place where they ensure you are softened enough to accept their next round of devaluation. But when the grooming fails, the predator becomes desperate. They start to experience a system-wide failure of their false self. Without the regular injection of your vitality, their skin starts to feel like a cage. They are cursed to be observers of a life they cannot inhabit without a host, and you have finally gone toxic to the parasite. The silence of the bedroom becomes a courtroom where they are being judged by their own nothingness. They are screaming internally for a pulse that isn't there. Let's be blunt, the narcissist is a spiritual scavenger. They don't have the equipment to generate self-love, so they must import it through conquest. When the import license is revoked, they enter a state of psychological famine. This is the agony that turns them into manic stalkers of your emotional state. They will watch you through the corner of their eye, searching for a crack in your resolve. They are calculating the mathematics of manipulation, trying to find the exact frequency that will force you to open the vault. But the vault is empty, and the thief is starting to panic because the air in their internal world is running out. The big haunting question remains, why does the agony feel so violent? It's because for the narcissist, celibacy is execution. They use intimacy to dump their repressed shame into you. Without that dump site, the waste starts to back up into their own system. By day 3 of being denied supply, they are drowning in their own rot. They feel dirty, unwanted, and transparent. They are projecting this disgust onto you, calling you cold or broken, but they are actually describing themselves. This is the secret map of the predator's mind. They are ice trying to convince the sun that it is freezing. You are the sun, and you are finally refusing to shine on their void. Do not click away, because we are about to enter the psychological breakdown of the narcissist's internal chaos. We are going to expose the hidden fears that make a week of no feel like an eternity in hell for them. This is secret knowledge that will shatter the glass house of their manipulation. You are not mean for reclaiming your body, you are sovereign. But the narcissist wants you to believe you are the abuser so they can reset the program. We are going to show you how to watch the collapse without falling into the fire. The fog is lifting, and the predator is about to find out that the feast has finished and the lights are off forever. This first chapter is your sanctuary of truth. You have been blaming your own libido or your health for the distance in the house, but the distance is your spirit executing an eviction. The narcissist bet everything on the idea that you were too empathetic to watch him suffer. He lost the bet the moment you decided that your peace was more important than his supply. As we move into the breakdown, remember that his agony is the most honest thing about him. It is the sound of a hollow instrument being hit by the truth. Hold on to your breath. We are going to document the ego death of the monster together. The empath is finally rising. To understand the psychological breakdown of the narcissist's 7-day agony, you must look into the mechanical void they call a personality. A narcissist is a collection of mirrors with no original image at the center. They exist only through the reflection they see in your eyes. When you are intimate, you are validating their physical form. Without that validation, they experience somatic dissociation. They literally feel like they are falling apart at the molecular level. Their weakness is structural. They are built on the requirement of your submission. When the foundation refuses to hold, the skyscraper of their grandiosity begins to lean toward the dirt. Metaphorically, the narcissist is a high-end hologram that requires a constant stream of data from the projector, which is you. When the data stops, the image starts to flicker. By day 4 of the sexual fast, the projected image of the confident alpha or the nurturing partner is glitching. You see the static. You see the gray. You see the mean, petty child hiding in the pixels. This visibility is what terrifies them. They crave the act because the intensity of the physical allows them to muffle the static. Without the noise of your body, they are forced to hear the silence of their own nothingness. They are choking on the vacuum. Their hidden motive for the sexual hunt is the avoidance of self-awareness. A narcissist uses sensation to drown out sentiment. They don't want connection, they want stimulation. They are sensation junkies who use your empathy as the adrenaline to stay numb to their own internal shame. When you cut the supply, the numbness wears off. The shame starts to itch. The failures of their whole life start to crawl up their spine. They need you to touch them so they can transfer that disgust back into your skin. You are the chemical trash can for their internal toxic waste. Without you, they are overflowing with their own spiritual rot. We must talk about the narcissistic void as a spiritual dehydration. A narcissist views empathy as a commodity to be consumed. During intimacy, they are sucking the marrow out of your life force to lubricate their false self. Without that lubrication, the false self becomes brittle. It starts to creak. It starts to crack. This is why they become so physically agitated after a week of no supply. They are drying out. They are becoming a mummy in a designer suit. They need the fluid of your devotion to stay supple and charming. Without it, they de-evolve into the cold, scaly reptile that lives in the basement of their mind. Imagine a radio that has no signal of its own and must steal the broadcast of the station next door. The narcissist has no soul signal. They mimic intimacy to capture your frequency. This is biological plagiarism. When you go silent in the bedroom, the radio starts to emit a high-pitched scream of internal static. This is the agony. It is the sound of a dead frequency trying to find a pulse. They are screaming internally because they realize they are unoriginal. They are performing a script to an empty theater, and the lack of applause is lethal to their delusion. They are fading into the background noise, and they know it. Their internal chaos is a whirlwind of paranoia that spikes when the bedroom lights stay off. They start thinking you are cheating, or planning to leave, or talking to a lawyer. They project their own infidelity and betrayal onto you because they cannot imagine a human being who has self-control. They think you are withholding as a power move because everything is a power move to them. They hate that you are the one who is executing the move. They are caged by their own distrust. They are pacing the perimeter of your boundaries, snarling at the steel they used to think was butter. Let's look at the metaphor of the vampire in a state of famine. A narcissist is a frequency parasite who needs the high vibration of your sacred intimacy to offset their low vibration rot. By day 6, the parasite is starving. It is eating itself. The narcissist's ego starts to cannibalize its own memories of greatness. They become desperate. They will beg, cry, or confess fake sins just to get you to lower the shield. This false vulnerability is the final strategy of a drowning predator. They are trying to hook your compassion to get back into your biology. They are starving in the presence of the sun. The narcissist is a somatic junkie who jams your internal warning system with tactile stimulation. They conditioned you to believe that their touch was the reward. Now that the reward is gone, they are the ones experiencing the withdrawal. They are shocked that you can survive without their performance. This survival is the lethal insult. It proves they are not essential. It proves they are a luxury item, not a requirement. Their agony is the death of the illusion of centrality. They realize the world can rotate without them. They are falling out of the center of the universe, and the landing will be hard. There is also the projective identification of their own disgust. Deep down, the narcissist finds human need to be repulsive. They despise you for wanting them in the past, and now they despise themselves for wanting you now. This loop of hate is the acid that burns their soul. They are ashamed to be begging for access. They hate that your flesh has become the curator of their reality. They want to destroy the power you have over them, but the only way to destroy it is to access it. They are trapped in a circular hell. They are biting the bars of a cage they built for you. This psychological breakdown reveals that the narcissist is a slave to the mirror. Their strength is borrowed. Their ego is rented. And the rent is overdue. By being silent and sovereign, you have evicted the spirit of the abuser from your sanctum. As we move into the dramatic turning point, you will see what happens when the empath stays in the stillness. You are going to see the power shift from the ghost to the sovereign. The agony of the narcissist is about to become their final discard, while your peace becomes your permanent home. You are about to become untouchable. The predator is inert. The dramatic turning point arrives on day 7 with a cold, clinical clarity that saturates the air in the house. You are sitting in the living room, and the narcissist walks in, radiating a frantic, dark energy. He tries the old tricks, the smug smirk, the subtle put-down, the fake concern, but nothing sticks. This is the psychological plot twist. You have stopped being the audience. The power snatches back into your center with a violent, silent snap. You have found the kill switch for the trauma bond. You are observing the monster from a distance of 1 million miles. You are finally untouchable. Watch the narcissist's panic when the mirror refuses to reflect. They double down on the agony. They might slam doors, withdraw money, or go missing for hours to trigger your abandonment anxiety. They are throwing everything at the wall to see if anything still hooks. But you are silent. This lack of response is psychological kryptonite. The narcissist realizes that the anesthetic has worn off and the patient is awake on the operating table. They are exposed in the high-beam searchlight of your sudden, icy sovereignty. They are naked in a way they despise. The roles have shifted irrevocably. This is the moment of internal sovereign alignment where you realize that their agony is theirs. You stop viewing yourself as the caretaker of their ego. You stop feeling guilty for having boundaries. You are no longer a source to be mined, you are a stone statue in the middle of their storm. The narcissist sees this radiance of indifference on your face and it triggers their annihilation anxiety. They feel like they are disappearing because you are no longer defining them with your focus. They are static on a dead channel. You are becoming solid. The silence has erased them. Detail the narcissist's desperate pivot. When the sexual famine hits the 1-week mark, they reveal the monster completely. They will discard you verbally, telling you that you are a cold, broken person and they never wanted you anyway. This is narcissistic rage in its bedroom variant. It is a confession of total failure. They are burning the bridge because they cannot cross it anymore. But the healed empath labels the tactic in real time. You see that they are trying to reclaim the power by leaving first. The truth is the shield that shatters their final weapon. You smile at the storm. The plot twist deepens. The agony of the narcissist becomes the incubator for your evolution. While they are starving, you are thriving on the retained energy. You notice that your brain fog is lifting. Your heartbeat is steady. You have inverted the parasitic relationship. You are keeping the light that you used to give away. The narcissist senses this vitality and it triggers their purest envy. They hate you for being whole without their permission. They realize they were never the king, they were just the beggar you allowed in the house. They are fading, and you are finally becoming visible. They attempt a malignant discard to save face before you can formally exit. They announce to the world that you are the problem, that you are cold, that you are broken. This is a psychological confession of their own biological dependence on your empathy. They are trying to rewrite the history so they can be the hero in the next victim's bed. But you are relieved. You accept the discard like a lethal promotion. You watch them walk out and you feel the density of the room lifting. The ghost has left the house, and the house is finally, irrevocably, yours. The nightmare is over. Show the shift in the energetic signature of the bedroom. The moment the narcissist is gone, the space sanctifies. You strip the bed, you burn the sage, and you open the windows to the clean air. You realize that the agony they felt was actually the death of their influence. Now that the weight is gone, you can breathe into your center and feel the radiance of your own spirit. The narcissist is pacing the perimeter of a new victim's life, trying to load the syringe again, while you are dancing in the sunlight of your own presence. The war is over, and you are the survivor. This is a psychological shift. You forgive the body for providing the supply for so long. You realize that the body was just trying to survive the energy extraction. You nurture the flesh with self-respect. You realize that the relationship was a dark initiation that forced you to find your internal sword. You thank the trauma for breaking the mirror and revealing the sovereign. The empath has graduated from the school of shadows. You are no longer exploitable. You are vibrating at a frequency that predators cannot match. You are sacred ground. You are impenetrable. You are solid light. This is the moment of total detachment. You look at the past and you don't feel pain, you feel physics. You see the mechanism of the theft. The narcissist is a name you barely remember. They are a minor malfunction in the great machine of your evolution. The turning point is absolute. You are inhabiting your own life with an intensity that is terrifying to the weak. You are steady. You are solid. You are home. The power shift is complete. You are the master now. The agony was the final sentence in the trial of the ghost. The ghost is void, and you are the truth. As we move into the collapse, remember, the narcissist depends on your reaction to stay three-dimensional. By withdrawing your desire and your drama, you have deleted their existence in your universe. They are going to panic. They are going to burn their own world down to get your attention. But you are no longer the firefighter. You are watching the fire from the high ground, safe in your sovereignty. We are about to witness the total internal collapse of the abuser as they realize that the empath they groomed has finally, irrevocably, reclaimed their soul. The end is brutal, but it is just. The collapse of the narcissist is a spectacle of absolute void. When the empath stops absorbing the rot, the narcissist's false self shatters from the internal pressure of its own nothingness. They experience narcissistic mortification, the psychic death they've been running from since childhood. You will see them acting out with manic recklessness. Their lies become screams. Their mask is melting like acid on glass. They are choking on the ash of their failed intimacy. They are frantically trying to find a mirror that doesn't show the monster, but the whole world is becoming a mirror. They are crushing. Their social consequences are swift and public. As the recovered empath moves through the world with quiet dignity and icy indifference, the narcissist's smear campaign evaporates into the stench of desperation. The truth has its own gravity. People start seeing the pattern of the withered victims the narcissist leaves behind. You are the witness who survived the autopsy. The narcissist is losing their grip on image. They are exposed as the energy predator who needs a reaction to feel powerful. They are isolated in the biohazard they created. They are locked in a mind that hates the quiet. The internal panic of the narcissist becomes a manic screaming for new supply that no longer exists in your space. They look for you in every face they exploit, but no one can reflect the God image you once gave them. They are starving for the high-grade empathy your sacred energy used to provide, but the pharmacy of your soul is permanently closed. They realize, too late, that they killed the golden goose. This regret isn't love, it's hunger. They hate you for being happy without their permission. Every smile you have is a stab to their insecurity. They are fading into the darkness. Watch the harsh truth of their new life. They look old. They look gray. They look brittle. The life force they stole from you has expired, and they have no internal reactor to generate more. They are cursed to repeat the same loop with lesser and lesser souls until they draw their last breath. They are trapped in a body that is closing down, haunted by the memory of the one who got away and found the sun. They are obsessed with the fact that you don't care. Their rage is turning inward, eating the last of their humanity. They are a signal without a station, drifting away. The tone here is brutally cold and analytical. The narcissist is a parasite that underestimated the sovereignty of the empath. By moving on physically and spiritually, you have executed the predator. They are the walking dead, carrying the corpse of their own ego. They hate you for surviving their sexual warfare. They hate you for being whole in a world they told you was a killing flaw. Every breath of peace you take is a poison to their delusion. They are collapsing into the center of their own nothingness. The final discard was yours, and it was lethal. Internal panic leads to pathological stalking of your happiness. They analyze your every post, searching for a sign of pain, a sign of return. But they find nothing but strength. This strength is traumatic to the narcissist. It debunks their God complex. It proves they are just a glitch in your evolution. They are screaming from the shadows, trying to cast a spell that your nervous system no longer decodes. They are irrelevant. This irrelevance is the final consequence of their evil. They wanted to be remembered as a god, but they will be forgotten as a malfunction. You are the symphony. The social discard concludes with the final isolation. The flying monkeys have woken up. The family has distanced themselves. The narcissist is left alone with the ghost of the one they couldn't destroy. This isolation is the mirror they feared their whole life. In the silence, they are forced to hear the echoes of their own lies. They are obsessed with you because you are the only thing that feels real in their world of shadows. But you are a memory they can't command. They are stroking the air where you used to be. They are nothing, and the darkness is swallowing them whole. Brutally truthful analysis. The narcissist failed because they miscalculated the resilience of the spirit. They thought they could starve the empath, but they only forced the empath to hibernate and evolve. Once you wake up and retain your energy, you are invisible to their manipulation. The narcissist is a shadow that cannot exist in the presence of your internal truth. They are disintegrating. The sexual famine was your incubation phase, and you have emerging with new skin. You have inverted the trauma into power. The narcissist is a broken tool, discarded by the very life it tried to steal. Intensify the collapse. You watch their disintegration with a sense of sacred justice. You don't feel vengeance, you feel order. You see that the world is actually safe because you are the one who defines your reality. The narcissist's rage is a distant noise that no longer reaches your frequency. You are healing at a speed they cannot match. You are living at a depth they cannot reach. The collapse is the final closing of the narrative. The monster is dead, and the village is celebrating. The end is brutal and permanent. You are the sovereign one, standing tall in the light. As we enter the final truth, look at the ruin of the abuser and realize, you are the final truth. The agony was just the shell of your evolution. You have found the key. You have opened the door. You have walked into the world and the world recognized you. The final truth is cinematic, empowering, and saturated with radiance. The collapse is complete. The sunrise is internal. You are free to build a world where predators are nothing but ghosts in the distance. You are the one. The agony is returned to its sender. The vessel is whole. The light is home. We have reached the final truth, the cinematic closing where the hooks of the past are melted by the heat of your presence. The final truth is this: the narcissist's sexual suffering was never your fault. It was the sound of a dying ghost that was not yours. You don't feel empty because you are full of your own radiance. You have realized that the narcissist was never your soulmate. They were your exterminator who accidentally ignited your true fire. You have used the ash to fertilize your garden. You are the master of your own energy. You are clean, radiant, and home. Emotional closure comes from the absolute knowledge that the narcissist never existed as the person you loved. You were in love with a reflection of your own empathy. Today, you have taken the reflection back. You are closing the case file on the predator. You have realized that their hate was a badge of honor. A being of darkness will always hate the sun. You accept the hate as proof of your magnificence. You are validating yourself by the fact that you can breathe, you can dream, and you can love again. The verdict is innocent and sovereign. The parasite is gone. Healing is the cinematic slow burn of presence. It is the feeling of the ground under your feet, the sound of your own voice telling the truth, and the sight of a future that is unwritten and safe. You are reprogramming your nervous system to expect beauty and respect. You are learning that empathy is a superpower, not a sentence. You are finding your soul. You are building a life that is so authentic and so powerful that the memory of the narcissist feels like a B-movie you watched in another lifetime. You are the director now. The lens is sharp and focused. Empowerment is the quiet strength of the empath who refused to stay defined by the predator. You have seen the bottom of the abyss and you brought back the fire. You are unshakable. The narcissist's screams from the shadows are just background noise in the symphony of your life. You have changed the frequency. You are tuned into the voice of the universe, to the pulse of the earth, and to the truth of your own value. You have reclaimed your power, and you are using it to heal the world. You are a warrior of the light. You are whole. The final line is being written in the light. You are part of a global awakening of sovereign empaths who are retraining their spirits to reoccupy the world. We are collective strength. We are spiritually invincible. The narcissist's obsession with your energy was the last stand of a dying parasite. The age of the predator is ending. The age of the authentic is beginning. You are a pioneer of the soul. Your voice is a siren of truth for others who are still trapped in the shadows. You are calling them out. The bunker is open. The war is finished. You are standing on a mountain peak at dawn. The wind is blowing through your spirit, cleansing the last traces of the abuser's shadows. Below you, the dark valley of the narcissistic trap is dissolving in the light of the sun. Above you, the sky is exploding with colors you can finally see again. You are whole. You are complete. You are indifferent. The narcissist is a name you can barely remember, a face you no longer recognize. You breathe in the clean air of sovereignty, and you never look back. You are the master of the sunrise. The narcissist is now a distant ghost, stalking the ruins of a life they burnt. They are screaming at the wind, begging the dust to become the host again. But the dust stays dust. You are flesh and blood, light and fire, moving at the speed of joy. You have found your tribe. You have found your peace. You have found your soul. The sexual strike of the survivor was the cocoon of the warrior. The credits are rolling. The theater is empty. The light is permanent. The game is over, and you are the one who is standing. The final truth deliverance. The narcissist tried to kill the empath because they were terrified of what would happen if the soul went sovereign. They wanted to keep you as their internal battery, but the battery exploded into a sun. You are magnificent. You are unstoppable. You have won the game by walking off the field. You have ascended beyond the manipulation. You are the truth. You are the way. You are the life. The noise was the fog, and you are the clarity. The ghost is gripless. The agony is void. The path ahead is clear. Reclaim your space. Reclaim your voice. Reclaim your right to walk the earth with confidence and dignity. The sexual killer, the psychological parasite, and the emotional arsonist have no power here. You are generating your own frequency now, and it is a frequency of freedom, justice, and radiance. Use it to warm your own life. Use it to create beauty. Use it to love deeply with others who vibrate at your level. You are a generator of universal light, and the grid is restored. You are absolute. You are the master of your own destiny. The narcissist's agony is the sound of their own hollowness finally catching up to them, but your victory is the silent peace that begins when you finally stop feeding the void. Go forth and live with the intensity that was meant to be yours all along. The act is over, the mask is shattered, and you are finally, irrevocably free.